Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. So, you may or may not already have seen this update, but in case it isn't obvious, I'm at Badger 5. I've arrived a little bit early, just waiting for the guys to arrive because it's very early on a Sunday morning. So, we're going to do a little Q&A. Right, so first up, Matt Footman has asked, your favourite race moment of the 2021 season? The best thing about 2021 was the August meet at Silverstone International. The first kind of open world meet we've had since things kind of opened back up and we weren't racing under COVID regulations. I had all my family there, all my friends. That was without doubt the best thing about 2021. Loved it. Cannot wait for more of that this year. Mark Turner has asked, any modification regrets, things you would do differently in hindsight? Yeah, I'd try and have a bit more of an end game in sight. So the car has had 5 engines, it's had 6 different sets of seats, we've had 10 sets of front brake calipers and a whopping 11 turbos over the last 10 years. Now, I get that there's a bit of development along the way and not a load of people have done the sort of stuff I'm trying to do. I wish I'd known then where I'd end up, and I'd have probably skipped out a load of steps in the middle and a load of money as a result. But it's a journey and I've enjoyed it. Mons Mark IV has asked, what do I think about an independent rear suspension setup? I don't know really. So Seat did it when they did the Leon touring car. They used a 4-wheel drive shell from Europe. When they did the Toledo World Touring car, they weirdly made a kind of active rear beam that was like a take on an independent, but not fully. But then you've got some unbelievably successful people like Gary Preble racing a Leon, which is exactly the same chassis, with a solid rear beam. It can definitely be made to work. There are different tricks to it. It may never technically be as good, but in terms of lap time, we seem to do pretty well with the solid rear. There is also the regulation issue whereby going to some sort of IRS involves changing pickups, and that does outlaw you for quite a few different series. So for now, we'll be sticking with the beam. I like this one. The anonymous UK track junkie. Who are you? Cool new Instagram page. If you haven't already checked it out, make sure you do so. He, she, don't know, has asked, do you know the Muffin Man? I don't, but I do believe if you look on Google, roughly somewhere about here, he lives on Drury Lane. And while I'm at it, if you haven't already checked it out, go to our page, go back a couple of videos, check out our cool plans for 2022, where we are going to be entering Thunder Saloons with the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. Anyway, back to the Q&A. Right, well, in case you haven't guessed, I'm home now, so we are going to rattle out a couple more questions. I've got a list of them here. Tom GTI 6, how's the A3 getting on at Badger 5? Well, if you hadn't guessed, you're going to see an update on that really soon, so you're going to have to check in next week at 6:30, Friday night, to see how that's coming along. What else we got? If money was no object, what is your dream track car? Mad Caddy 18T. I'm a weirdo. I don't really think about what crazy stuff I'd buy if I had loads of money. I think about what crazy stuff I would do to the car I've already got. So if money was no object, we'd probably be full sequential, tilt and pedal box, motorsport ABS, all in our daft little A3 still. So yeah, I am weird, I know that, I'm cool with it. I'd just go nuts on the A3. Sorry about the light buzzing, if you heard that. Audi S3 Mark, more videos of spanner work, any maintenance you do, however minor. If that's what you guys want to see, let me know. I spend so many hours out here working on the car with stuff I don't think's worth filming, so I don't, because it kind of almost seems like it'll be boring content to me. If that's what you guys want to see, let me know. I can definitely do more of that. Now the question from our glorious pitboard operator, Moggs, do you eat enough bacon? I don't think that's possible. No man can ever eat enough bacon. Thank you for that, Luke. What power will the car be for Thunder Saloons? It will be somewhere in the kind of mid to high 400s region, which is going to be kind of around 400 at the wheels-ish. It can go higher. I don't think it's a great idea to run it at absolute full chat for full race duration, so probably mid to high 400s. We'll see how that goes. Might have to employ some push to pass if we need a little more boost. Right, what else we got? This is a good one. What are the main changes we'll be making for Thunder Saloons compared to 750 Road Sport spec? So, Road Sports, 350 brake, 1200 kilos, 300 brake per tonne. Thunder Saloons is essentially no power limit. So we're going to be turning the wick up, adding a load of power, and we're going to try and take some weight out where we can. I've already got a couple of things to do that. And over time, I'm going to kind of see where we stand and then see if I need to take more weight out, see what we can get it down to. It'd be pretty incredible one day if we could get it down to, say, 1100 kilos and 500 brake would be absolutely bonkers. So those are the main differences. And obviously we're going to be running on slick tyres instead of road legal tyres, which is cool, and full race wets if it rains. Looking forward to it. Any more mods planned for this season? Yes, quite a few. So you may see a pedal box somewhere here in the background. Not sure when. That's in the pipeline. I've got some other bits that are dotted around the garage, out of shot. I'm not going to show you them just yet, but tune in over the next couple of months. As well as the ECU going on at Badger 5, we've got a load of other really cool stuff to hopefully help the car level up for this year. So we've got Ryan Macy here, trying to build a 300 brake 1.8T. What's really needed? I've read a lot of rubbish. Where does it stop? Do you want to do it on the cheap? Do you want to do it full on properly? My ideal 300 bhp would probably be a G25 550 on gate pressure, standard kind of block and pistons, forged rods, exhaust valves. That's kind of the way I would approach it with a budget. You could do it with a K300, you could do it with a KO4 hybrid. There is no standard turbo that's going to get you there. It's just not going to happen without pushing it beyond its limit. You could do it on a standard head. I wouldn't risk it. I'd put exhaust valves in anything I ever built as a minimum, along with rods. But yeah, standard pistons are fine for that level. Fit new rings, why not, when you're pulling it all apart, hone the bores. Put some exhaust valves in it. If you're running a tiny hybrid, put some exhaust springs in it. They don't like back pressure, valve flow, bad. So yeah, there's a ton of ways. Feel free to drop me a message. Happy to chat about that one more. Right, what else we got? How are you finding the 660 stroker combo? Absolutely love it. It's incredible. So 660 on the stroker, you get all the kind of spool characteristics of the 550 on the standard stroke, but all the top end we had with the 660 before on the short stroke. It's unreal. It's kind of like all things to all men. We can hit 2 bar of boost at 3000 RPM and we can still be making 2.2 bar of boost at 8000 RPM. It's just ballistic, to be honest. I have no idea what it's going to feel like on Ignitron once it's all mapped up, and as good as it's ever been, I think it's going to be terrifying. I love it. 660 stroker ultimate 1.8T combo for me. Right, and I think this is probably the last one to round this out. Mike Hughes, when are you going to be graduating to something rear wheel drive? Thank you very much, Mike. I did actually have a brief spell in an E36 M3 when I was 21. I'll put a picture up now. Yeah, didn't last too long. Sold the A3, bought that, and actually ended up buying the A3 back after about 4 months from my mum of all people. Turns out, tuned A3 wasn't for her, insuring an M3 wasn't for me at 21, so back to the A3, never looked back since. I do actually have a fairly decent complement of rear-wheel drive machinery already that you might care to note. Only difference being, my rear-wheel drive stuff is human-powered. Right, that is our January 2022 Q&A session done. So, just wanted to take a minute to say a massive thank you to everyone that tuned in last week for our announcement about us entering into Thunder Saloons this year. We've had some really cool messages already, and I think we're going to have some really exciting stuff to share with you this year, and we're going to be working with some really cool people. So really looking forward to bringing you more on that. I want to say a massive thanks to all the people that got in touch on a personal level with me and asked if there was anything they could do to contribute to our season, having watched the channel for a couple of years, keen to see it grow, keen to see how we get on. That was totally unexpected. So yeah, thanks guys. Big thanks to Phil Clifton, who suggested a system called a Buy Me a Coffee account. Not something we thought we'd do. We didn't want to get into Patreon with a monthly subscription and having to deliver, you know, the responsibility of trying to come up with cool content for you guys. Sometimes it's difficult. But yeah, so we've set up an account called Buy Me a Coffee. If you guys want to give a couple of quid, it would be hugely appreciated. There's absolutely no obligation. 1 cup, 2 cups, however it works out, absolutely anything, massively appreciated. Content is always going to be free, but anything that anyone does chuck in the pot is going to go straight back into trying to make cool content for you and going racing. So that's me for this week. I hope you guys will like this one. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.